One thing I'm noticing about Mr. David Kadavy is I don't see a wedding ring in any of his videos, which tells me no wife, probably no children of his own. I could be wrong, but I haven't found anything else on the internet to suggest that he has a family other than extended family. It might not mean anything because, if you look at a lot of Zay Frank's videos, I don't think I recall ever seeing a wedding ring on him either. And he is officially listed as being married. However, let's have a look over here. Here is an interview with David Kadavy. Not a single mention of a wife or kids. Looks from reading this, it sounds very much like he just lives on his own and does a bit of traveling. Not a lot of guys out there, not a lot of people, human beings, are able to go long periods of time without some kind of a partner or family. We're human beings, we're social, familial animals. We don't typically do being alone for long periods of time very well. We don't typically weather that well. Even the best of us, even those of us who are really good at being on our own and comfortable with ourselves and having alone time, I'm pretty good at it. I'd say I've been alone and lived alone the majority of my adult life. And hour to hour, even day to day, I'm okay with it. I'm good with it. I like myself. I make myself laugh. But one does tend to get lonely. And you guys know how I am about living a meaningful life and how I think that family is the most meaningful thing you can do or have. But yeah, not any mention of this guy he's likely in his 50s at this point, maybe late 40s, having anything resembling a family. He seems to have a very structured daily life. He lives now in, I'm probably going to mispronounce it, Medellin, Colombia. Fun fact about that place. First of all, Colombia, just in general, has a lot of child trafficking, a lot of human trafficking, a lot of child prostitution. But Medellin, it looks like it is quite the problem. Sex and drug tourism has long been a problem in Medellin, but the dangers came to a head late last year. So these are recent, 2024. So while most pedophiles are married with kids, there are definitely a lot of men out there that are attracted to children that just will never settle down with a wife, because they want the freedom to, go out and frequent the child brothel and not be held accountable for, why are you home 4 hours late, that sort of thing. And again, a lot of this is also, they're mostly just in love with themselves. They love their own egos. They're in love with their own lives. They are their greatest art project. You see that with Richard Hart. You see that with Zay Frank. You see that with Tony Robbins. You see that with this guy, with David Kadavy. They're mostly in love with themselves, and there's very little room for that. There's very little room in their love affair that they're having with themselves there's very little room for that loving a family. There's very little room for focusing all your energy and attentions to bettering someone else's life, like your own children, when you are just totally wrapped up in yourself. Another thing I've noticed about Mr. Kadavy, David Kadavy, is, so it looks like that name, Kadavy, is, well, it's predominantly found, currently, it's found in Nebraska in the United States. But it looks like its origins are from the German, Austrian, Czech Republic area. So, yet another white German dude hanging out with Ze Frank. That's something that comes up a lot that I've noticed is a trend is Germany, not just the fact that Ze Frank's father is from Germany, but even people like the trolls who have come onto my own YouTube channel and been trolling me there. You know, one chick is named Melly Germany. You know, some of them, I've looked into some of them, and they call Germany home. So that's interesting. White Germans. And also, I want to point out that, oh, you know what? Now, I know that most of Ze Frank's videos feature him, and it's mostly just him talking, but he does have little cameos, little drop-ins from other people, fans, friends, even other celebrities. There's one down here with this guy right here. I don't know his name, but I've seen him and stuff. In this episode, Teen Brain. Another white guy who looks like he's probably of German descent. So if you go back and look at these videos, and I won't claim to have watched all of them. It feels like I have. Some of them I've watched several times over, looking for little details, particularly in the background. That's where he hides a lot of his symbols and clues, like in that little bookshelf behind him. But one thing I've noticed, one trend I've noticed, is most of the people he brings on this show or features on the show alongside himself are white. And I'll bet you a lot of them, if not all of them, are of German descent. Not to say that there is nobody of any color or any other color or race on here. I think that there's like one guy that I've seen. Maybe that, I can't quite tell. There's like one guy that looks like he could be Latino or Native American. I'm not sure. Right here. And then this one looks like features, I think that guy is Asian. So, but we're talking about, again, there's, compared to all of the people he's had on here, I would say it's, people of other races are a minority on his show. It seems to be predominantly white European type people. So that is something that I find interesting. I do think that there's possibly some racism going on in this cult. It could, I don't know, it could just be that other races are a minority in America, and so they're just going to be a minority in your friendship circle. That could be the case. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. There's a lot of white German people of white German descent, um, associated with Zay Frank that he seems to bring on his show, that are coming out of the woodwork to harass me on my YouTube channel. And then again, he does things like hides little secret photographs of people like David Kadavy in his videos. And again, Kadavy, that name, Slavic, and it is primarily from Germany, Austria, Czech Republic, that area. So yeah, what happened, dude? Why didn't it work out for you and the kids and the family and the wifey? Maybe you're gay, that's cool, but I didn't even hear you talk about, or, well, read. I didn't read about a partner or anything like that. Anybody in your daily routine but yourself. So that's telling, I think. I mean, even I have, I don't live with any other people currently, but I have cats. If somebody were to ask me what my daily routine is, if they were like, what's the first thing you do when you get up in the morning? I feed my cats. They won't allow me to do anything else. And then I put them outside and I change out their water because they have like 3 water bowls outside so they don't dehydrate. And so on and so forth. Like, a lot of my life revolves around my cats and their well-being. And so a lot of my daily life is dedicated to that. But that just isn't so for people who are highly narcissistic and in love with themselves. They don't typically have a lot of time for anyone or anything else. And again, I think I've several times over made the connection, I will make it here again, between narcissism and dudes who are basically in love with themselves and pedophilia, being attracted to children. As far as I've been able to work it out, at least some of it, it seems to be a matter of, look at how structured this guy's day is. All right? He seems to like to exact a lot of control, a lot of self-control, which is control in general. And again, that ties in with one of the motives behind why adults will sexually assault children. It's typically about control and gaining a sense of power over someone else. And it's easiest to do that with children. So yeah, just making little notes here and there while I look into this guy. Yeah, in fact, I'm going to go check on my cats.